Hey loves, welcome to my channel. My name is Winnie Jean. If you're new here and if you're returning, then hey girl, how you doing? Today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I really wanted to try a sew-in. I used to wear these all of the time, and to be honest, I kind of got carried away with the wigs. So today's video is sponsored by Wiggins. They sent me 3 bundles of curly hair, 2 18-inch and 1 16-inch, and right now I'm just going ahead and shampooing and conditioning the hair. I like to wash all of my bundles before I do my sew-ins. I just feel like you get the most out of it, and I also feel like curly hair styles better after you shampoo it. Whatever products they use to get the curl pattern, I just love how soft it gets, and you can really get an idea of what the curl pattern is given once you wash it. All of the details about the hair will be down below in the description bar, as well as a link if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. But now we're going to go ahead and get into prepping my natural hair for the sew-in. So because we're doing the flip over method, I won't be having a part. So I'm only going to part out hair along my edges in the front. As you can see, I'm parting out about 1.5 inches. I didn't want to be stingy with the leave out just because I really do want this to be a very versatile style, and I don't want to have to worry about, you know, the wind blowing one way and my tracks being out, girl. That is not cute. And most importantly, I want my hair to blend really seamlessly. So after I parted out the leave out in the front, I went ahead and twisted it up, and now I'm going to go ahead and part out my leave out in the back because I want the most natural looking ponytail possible. So I'm parting out leave out along the sides of my hair, and I'm also going to part out about 1 inch along the back. As you can see, this is all of the hair that I'm leaving out. So we have to go ahead and braid up the hair in the middle, and this is where we're going to add in the extensions. Now, I got a lot of hair, so I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want it to braid it at this point, and I decided to kind of go for a straight back and across the back of my head type pattern. I'm going to show you guys as I go. As you can see, I'm parting out the first braid along the side of my head and it's going straight back. Now I'm parting across the back of my head, and I'm going to take that same braid and extend it going across the back of my hair. What this is going to do is give me that one smooth braid to add extensions to, so my ponytail is nice and smooth. And I did the exact same braid on the other side, but instead of going straight across, I'm adding in that first extension braid, braiding it into that one, and then continuing to braid, so that I only have one end dangling. I hope that makes sense, but I'm kind of just combining the braids so that I don't have a bunch of loose ends to sew down in the end, and everything can be nice and, you know, as tidy as possible. Because this hair is curly, I wasn't too worried about the braids being super small, so I only went in with about 8 braids, but all of the edges are really smooth, and that's going to give me a nice smooth ponytail. So we're going to grease that scalp up a little bit. I used a little bit of grapeseed oil. I've been loving using grapeseed oil in my hair lately. Grapeseed oil and shea butter, that's my jam. And I'm going in with a little bit of needle and thread, and I'm just going to sew that braid down so we have a nice braided base to begin installing the hair on. And I was originally going to do a full sew-in, but I decided to do a quick weave up top because I didn't want to have a lot of tension on my own hair. And although you can get this style to be super flat sewing everything in, it would be a lot of tension with the thread right along the edges of my braids, and I'm really trying to be conscious of how I'm treating my hair because I don't want a receding hairline, and I do a lot to my hair, and my goal is always to maintain its health at every point. So what I'm gonna do is create a fortress, child. I don't want any glue on my hair, but I also don't want any tension on it. So I sewed down 2 wrap strips across the front, and I'm using a little bit of the Bold Hold Liquid Gold Gel, and this is what I'm going to use to create a barrier for my hair. I'm spraying a little bit of that Even spray right on top, and then I'm going to apply a wig cap on top of that to create a 3-layered covering for my braids. And this is what we're going to glue the hair onto later, but I wanted to make sure I had it nice and secure now so we know exactly where not to sew hair. So essentially, we're gonna sew hair everywhere but on this little patch. I went ahead and cut off all of the excess wig cap, and now we can start sewing. So I'm going in with a bundle of 18 first, and I don't like to double my first track when I want a smooth ponytail. So I'm using a single track and I'm sewing this under my first braid. The reason why I go under the braid is because it creates kind of like a covering for the braid, and you get the most smooth ponytail possible with a sew-in. So I made sure to sew my first track under the braid, and then I'm going in with the rest of my tracks doubled and sewing like normal up the rest of my head, just going kind of back and forth. And I'm not afraid to cut my tracks, so I trim them when I need to, especially in this area because I want to keep that as flat as possible. So I'm only doubling the tracks in the back, and then I do a single track along the side. So as you can see, I doubled the hair back and forth across the back, but now that I'm swinging it around to the front, it's a single track. I'm trying to get it as smooth as possible, girl. Now that I'm getting closer to the top, I'm making sure to sew the tracks along the side of that quick weave base that we created as well. This is just going to add a little bit more strength to it and make sure that nothing moves and everything lasts a really long time. I actually ended up wearing this hair for a couple of weeks, and that's a lot for me because I don't get to keep my hair in long. But she performed great, and I think what I'm going to actually do next with this hair is turn it into a flip over wig. So comment down below if you guys would want to see how I do that. And now that we're reaching the end of the road, girl, I'm going to go ahead and in that track there, I'm just going to brush all of the hair out and just get an idea of exactly where we are. I sewed in 2 bundles of 18 and half of the pack of 16, and now I'm using the rest of that pack of 16 to glue kind of horizontally in this space. If you're not familiar with this technique, it was created by Ivy. She's actually from Chicago. Cough, cough. Love that. I don't care what nobody say. Girls from Chicago's hair will always be laid. That's one thing. I don't care what side you're from. Her hair gonna be laid. But yeah, she created this style, so I'm just kind of following that technique, but instead of going all the way across, I laid the tracks horizontally on either side, and then I'm laying the tracks straight back in the middle. And this allows me to get a lot of volume when I flip my hair from either direction, and it also gives me a really, really flat look when I want my hair to go all straight back. So now I'm going to brush my hair out to just kind of check in and see how everything is laying before we get into the styling. She's given very much Diana Ross, and I would totally wear it like that, but I went ahead and defined the curls off camera. I just applied a little bit of foaming lotion and diffused the curls. And now what I'm doing is just wand curling my hair with a piece of the extensions. I always like to blend my hair with the extensions that way because it makes it a lot harder to see one texture from the other. And to finish this look up, I'm doing some soft baby hair. So I'm brushing on my baby hairs, curling them going up, and then I'm going to go ahead with my edge control and give them some big old swoops. Y'all know I like big baby hair with my curls. And when I do a middle baby hair piece, you know I'm not playing. I'm normally a 4 swoop girl, 2 on the sideburns and 2 on each side. But if I add that 5th swoop, I'm dead ass serious that day. I am not playing any games on the Lord's Day. So after I get my swoops done, I applied a little bit more edge control behind my hairline just to get everything to look nice and polished. And I don't know, y'all, what do you think? So far she's given, but we have to kind of fluff out everything to really see the finished look. So I'm going in and fluffing out those curls with my hair just to get everything to blend and make it nice and fluffy in the front as well. And of course we have to wait for our edges to dry so they can be nice and laid, but this is the finished look. It is gorgeous. I wand curled the curls on this day to blend the hair, but I also went ahead and flat twisted my hair to blend it in one day, and it looked amazing. The ponytail is super smooth. My high bun was giving. This would be the perfect vacation hair, although if you're going to an island or somewhere where you'll be swimming, I would suggest actually going ahead and sewing in the flip over portion, because Lord knows once it gets wet, it's gonna come out. That's the whole purpose of us applying all of that product, to protect our hair. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye babes.